You're not ready for this one. Picture this. The son of Harlem's own Jim Jonesies, the usually silent stay out of thems. Loki, heir to the Dipset legacy, just blew up the internet with one savage move. And who's in the crosshairs? None other than Camron. That's right, the pink fur-wearing icon who used to be brother for life too. Jim is now ducking for cover after a scandal that nobody saw coming, but everybody is watching. Why? Because a tape just leaked. And not just any tape. We're talking about Chrissy Lampkin, Jim's longtime partner, caught in a moment so private, so explosive, it's got Harlem spinning, Twitter melting, and group chats on fire. So let's just ask the obvious. Is this the ultimate betrayal? A publicity stunt gone wrong? Or something even darker, like a decade-long beef finally boiling over in the ugliest way possible? And why is Jim's son stepping out the shadows now with smoke for Cam? Who leaked the tape? Who profits? What the hell is really going on? Behind those Dipset curtains, grab your popcorn, lock your phone, and don't blink, because this rabbit hole goes deep, messy, and absolutely unhinged. Let's get into it. So let's set the stage, because the streets aren't just talking, they're spiraling into chaos. Harlem has officially entered DEFCON 1, after a scandal that not even the most seasoned gossip monger could have predicted. Jim Jones's son, the one who's been lurking in the shadows for years, the quiet one, the mama's boy that everyone thought was just chilling on the sidelines, has finally snapped hand the person he's aiming at. None other than Camron, the Dipset legend turned alleged instigator of the messiest situation this side of reality television. Why? Because a tape just dropped. A tape that doesn't just shake the table, it flips the whole damn dining room. And in the middle of it all is Chrissy Lampkin, Jim's longtime partner. The woman we all watched kneel down in stilettos to propose to a grown man on national TV. Yeah, her. The same woman who's been standing 10 toes down behind Jim for nearly 2 decades, is now the center of a scandal so filthy it's got people deleting their tweets just to pretend they didn't say what they said. Now here comes the twist. This ain't your average leak. This isn't some blurry clip someone captured from across the room or some recycled rumor from a blog looking for traffic. No, this is intimate, explosive, and deeply personal. The kind of footage that turns group chats into crime scenes and makes you question everything you thought you knew about loyalty, friendship, and boundaries. According to the streets, and by streets we mean anonymous Instagram accounts with 90K followers and names like Tion Locke. The tape shows Chrissy in a situation with someone she had absolutely no business being with. The name attached to this chaos: Camron, yep, the same Cam who once claimed Jim as his brother, who helped birth the Dipset movement, who shared stages, songs, and suits with him. And now, he's allegedly all up in a tape with the one woman Jim put on a pedestal. Now don't get it twisted, this isn't just some tired cheating story. This is Dipset family business, the kind that was supposed to be locked away behind velvet curtains and NDA clauses. And yet here we are, neck deep in scandal with Jim's son coming out of nowhere, swinging harder than a Love and Hip Hop reunion chair. This man who's never really been in the public eye, who barely does interviews or posts cryptic IG captions, decided today was the day to let loose. And let me tell you, he didn't hold back. Word is, he confronted Cam in private and then aired out the entire situation in a voice memo that somehow made its way to the blogs within hours. Coincidence, please? This is hip-hop. Leaks don't just happen, they're orchestrated. And here's where it gets even messier. That tape, it didn't leak by accident. At least, not according to sources allegedly close to the situation. Word is the footage was sitting in someone's vault for a while. And when tensions between Cam and Jim quietly started brewing again behind the scenes, someone decided it was the perfect moment to press upload and let the internet eat. And eat. They did. Within minutes, Twitter was in shambles. Memes flew faster than facts, and every comment section from the Shade Room to Reddit looked like a full-blown crime board. People were dissecting body language, backgrounds, and timestamps like they worked at the CIA. Theories piled up. The tape old. Was it recent? Did Chrissy know she was being filmed? Did Camron leak it himself to get back at Jim over some unresolved Dipset beef? Did someone in Jim's own circle leak it to sabotage him? Questions, and not a single answer except rage. Pure, unfiltered rage from Jim's son, who has made it his personal mission to not only defend his mother's name, but drag Cam for filth in the process. And honestly, who can blame him? Watching your mother get exposed on the internet in what can only be described as a deeply compromising position is traumatic enough. But when the person allegedly involved is your father's best friend turned enemy, that's the kind of betrayal that sends people to therapy or to Instagram Live. And y'all already know which route he picked. The son went full scorched earth. He's not holding press conferences or hiring PR. He's coming with energy, with smoke, and with receipts. And it's not just Cam he's coming for. It's calling out everyone who's ever smiled in their family's face while moving foul behind the scenes. His words allegedly weren't just emotional. They were surgical, accusations flying, names being named, and tea being spilled so hot, half the city needed aloe. But while he's out here torching bridges, Chrissy, radio silence. Not a single word, not even a shady subtweet. Which has only made things worse. Because in the world of celebrity scandals, silence ain't golden, it's suspicious. People are now digging through her social media looking for clues, decoding old pictures. Cute. Matching outfits in the video to old Instagram stories, trying to piece together a timeline like it's a true crime case. Meanwhile, Jim is nowhere to be found. Not a post, not a statement, not even a half-hearted cryptic quote. Just vibes. Which makes us wonder, is he playing it cool or is he boiling behind the scenes? Because, let's be honest, for a man who's had public beefs, gone viral for emotional interviews, and once got into a screaming match over a Gucci headband, staying silent now feels calculated. Or maybe he's just in shock. I mean, how do you respond when the two people you trusted most have allegedly crossed the line in the most public, humiliating way possible? Do you pretend it's fake? Lawyer up? Or do you pull a Beyoncé and drop a diss track? Because from the way this story is unraveling, somebody's going to have to say something soon. And that brings us to Cam. Oh, Cam, Harlem's own jokester, the king of clapbacks. The guy who made pink fashionable and beef marketable. Suddenly, he's quiet. Too quiet. No Instagram lives. No stories. No hilarious rants or memes. Straight up digital crickets. Which, let's be honest, is not his style. And that silence, it's loud. Because if there's one thing Cam has never done, it's let somebody get the last word. So what's going on behind the scenes? Is he planning his own counterattack? Is he lawyering up? Or is he just hoping it all goes away if he hides long enough? Sorry, Cam, but this one's not blowing over. The blogs are watching, the fans are waiting, and the streets, well, they're talking. They're saying this ain't just about a tape, it's about respect, about betrayal, about an empire that was already on shaky ground now crumbling in real time. And just when you think it can't get worse, another voice jumps into the chaos. Allegedly, an ex-associate of Cam and Jim is about to drop their own set of receipts, claiming they've known about the tension for months and that this tape is just the tip of a scandal iceberg. Which means what we've seen so far, nothing. The real drama, it's just getting started. Because this saga isn't about a video, it's about revenge. And when revenge is served cold, you better believe it's coming with a side of exposure, betrayal, and full-blown public humiliation. And as Jim Jones's son continues to set fire to every digital corner of the internet, calling out fake friends, secret enemies, and industry snakes, the question isn't what happened, it's who's next. 'Cause with every tweet, every leak, and every silent stare, This situation is getting more volatile. And just when you think it couldn't possibly get any messier, a new layer peels back, revealing something so raw and chaotic. It makes the initial tape look like child's play. Because with every tweet, every leak, and every silent stare, this situation is getting more volatile. And just when you think it couldn't possibly get any messier, a new layer peels back, revealing something so raw and chaotic it makes the initial tape look like child's play. See, here's what people aren't ready for. This wasn't just some accidental exposure. This was war. Behind-the-scenes calculated warfare from folks who've been sitting on ammo for years just waiting for the perfect time to detonate. And guess what? Boom. According to someone claiming to be close to the inner circle, which in internet terms usually means a cousin's ex-girlfriend's baby daddy's friend. This tape wasn't just floating around randomly. It was part of a stash, a collection, multiple clips, screenshots, voice notes, and yes, alleged texts, too. What kind of texts, you ask? The kind where names were dropped, times were confirmed, and hush-hush rendezvous were spelled out like receipts at a messy divorce hearing. One of those texts allegedly shows Chrissy referring to a pink ghost from the past reappearing in her life. Now you tell me who else in Harlem is still showing up in pink from the early 2000s. The dots ain't even hard to connect at this point. But what really tipped the scales was the anonymous message sent to multiple gossip blogs the night before the tape hit the internet. The message simply read, "Watch Cam closely tomorrow. His sins are finally catching up." No sender, no signature, just vibes. But the timing, too perfect. Which brings us back to motive, because someone clearly wanted this mess to explode. But who gains the most from it? Is this Jim's son going rogue in defense of his mother? Tired of seeing snakes in the garden? His father keeps watering. Is this a move from an ex-friend, fed up with being sidelined while Dipset nostalgia tours cash in? Or is it, dare we say, an inside job by someone inside Jim's own camps? Someone ready to burn the house down just to see who runs out first? And while the internet plays detective, the people involved are acting like they just smelled smoke for the first time. Jim's still ghosting every camera, every mic, every fan comment demanding answers. Chrissy's out here posting nothing but old inspirational quotes about healing, which is basically the unofficial PR manual for celebrities who know they're guilty but ain't ready to confess. And Cam, he just posted a picture of a steak dinner with the caption, "Eat well and mind your business." Sir, the building is on fire and you're out here Instagramming sirloin. This ain't a mood, it's a deflection. Meanwhile, fans are going full Nancy Drew in the comments. One woman claimed she matched the curtains in the background of the leaked tape to a video Chrissy posted from a vacation 2 years ago. Someone else zoomed in and said the shoes on the floor looked like Cam's. Another claimed the lighting suggested it was filmed in the winter. At this point, CSI could hire half of Black Twitter and solve national crimes within 24 hours. But here's where things really go left. 'Cause while we're all focused on who filmed it and who leaked it, nobody's asking how long this has been going on. Some sources say this wasn't a one-time lapse in judgment. Word is, this connection between Chrissy and Cam goes back years. Allegedly, it all started as friendly emotional support during one of Jim and Chrissy's infamous off-again moments. You know, the ones, the breakups, where they post vague captions like, "Sometimes love means letting go," only to be back together by Tuesday. Except this time, someone else stepped into the emotional void. And if the rumors are true, that support evolved into something physical, something recurring, something recorded, and something that was never supposed to see the light of day. But light has a funny way of finding even the darkest secrets. And now, it's all out there, uncut, unfiltered, unforgiving. And with Jim's son charging through the chaos like a one-man army, it's no longer just a scandal, it's a war zone. But here's the thing about wars. They don't end with the first shot. They escalate. And right now, according to some, spicy tea from a social media DM leak, Jim's son has more. Allegedly, he's holding on to a second tape, one that makes the first one look tame. We're talking about direct dialogue, recognizable voices, and confirmation that this wasn't just some random incident. That there was intent, that Cam knew, that Chrissy knew. And worst of all, that someone within their circle helped coordinate. It'll leak like that. It wouldn't just ruin relationships, would bury reputations. And that's when the conversation shifted from just gossip to real consequences. People started whispering about potential lawsuits, about who owns the footage, about who gave permission, and more importantly, who didn't. Because if any part of that tape was filmed without consent, we're not just talking scandal anymore. We're talking courtrooms, criminal charges, felonies. And suddenly, all those cute little side comments from the blogs got a little quieter. Because leaking a video is one thing. But if that leak becomes evidence, the same fans cheering for drama today might be watching a courtroom live stream tomorrow. And then the other shoe dropped. A letter sent to a major gossip outlet, signed anonymously but formatted like a legal threat, demanding takedowns, threatening defamation suits, referencing names that haven't even been mentioned publicly yet, names from inside the industry, names that raise eyebrows. And just like that, this isn't just a Harlem mess anymore. This is a hip-hop earthquake with aftershocks reaching every corner of the game. Because now people are wondering how many. Others knew. Who stayed quiet? Who helped cover it up? And why did Jim's son wait until now to speak out? And as the questions grow louder, the silence from the main players becomes deafening. Nobody's owning up. Nobody's denying it either. They're just letting the storm swirl while the fans connect the dots. And in the absence of truth, conspiracy thrives. Some say this is Cam's karma for past beefs. Others think it's Jim's karma for ignoring the cracks in his kingdom. Some think Chrissy's being framed. Others swear she orchestrated it herself, as revenge for years of unspoken resentment. And in the middle of all this noise, that voice note. The one Jim's son allegedly sent. The one where he said, and I quote, "If you ever cared about this family, you would have never let it get this far. This ain't no accident. This was betrayal planned and executed. So now, I'm executing mine." Phew, what do you even say to that? 'Cause whether you believe every word or think it's all dramatics, one thing's clear. This family drama just turned into a full-blown public saga. And the scariest part? We're not even at the peak yet. Because if the second tape is real, if the lawsuits go forward, and if Cam finally breaks his silence, what we've seen so far will look like the calm before the storm. And just when you think the internet can't take any more, boom, a new piece drops, and it's back to square one. And just when you think the internet can't take any more, boom, a new piece drops, and it's back to square one. Because now the whispers aren't just about who's in the tape or who leaked. It's about who's funding it. Yep, you heard that right. There's a new theory gaining traction that someone with deep pockets and a personal vendetta is financing this chaos. Allegedly, there's a silent backer behind the leaks, the press, and maybe even behind Jim's son going public. Some folks are saying an old rival of Jim's has been waiting for his empire to crack, finally saw an opportunity and started pulling strings from behind the curtain. And while that might sound like a plot straight out of a Netflix thriller, nothing about this story has been normal so far. Not just about betrayal anymore. It's about power, manipulation, and revenge on a level nobody saw coming. Meanwhile, the legal heat is turning up fast, according to insider legal sources that may or may not be interns on Twitter. Jim's team has been quietly consulting attorneys about potential civil suits, not just against the leakers, but against any media outlet that reposted the footage, added commentary, or hinted at involvement without facts. Which, let's be honest, is just about everyone with a podcast and a ring light. And Camron, apparently he's not waiting around either. Rumor has it he's lawyering up too, but not just in defense, he's preparing to counterstrike. Not with fists or songs, but with subpoenas. Word is, he's ready to force people to name names, cough up devices, and reveal exactly who's been trying to ruin him. Because from Cam's perspective, this might be deeper than a scandal. This might be a setup, a hit job, a carefully orchestrated demolition of everything he's built. And while he hasn't said much publicly, sources say he's furious behind the scenes. That steak dinner. It wasn't a flex-it, was a calm before the storm. Cam might be clownish online, but behind closed doors, he's cold, strategic, and reportedly ready to scorch every earth in sight. But what about Chrissy? Still silent? Still no statement? Still no apology? No denial? No tearful iPhone Notes app confession? Shh, just silence, which is quickly becoming the loudest red flag in the room. People are starting to wonder if maybe she's not hiding because she's guilty, but because there's more she doesn't want getting out. Some folks are saying there's a third party involved, another man. Maybe someone not as famous, but equally important. Allegedly, this person is connected to the industry in ways that could make things really uncomfortable if his name got out. We're talking labels, contracts, distribution, big money, and real consequences. If that name drops, whew, that's when this story stops being celebrity drama and becomes a full-blown industry scandal. But here's the most disturbing parts. Some sources claim Jim knew. Not everything, not the tape, not the specifics, but that he had suspicions. That he'd heard rumors. The people had whispered to him in private over the years that Chrissy wasn't always where she said she was. That Cam might have crossed a line, that things didn't add up. And allegedly, Jim chose to ignore it. Chose to believe the love story instead of the warning signs. And now the truth is being forced into the light, and the damage control isn't working. In fact, it's making things worse. Fans are turning. Old friends are picking sides. Dipset alumni are going radio silent, suddenly unavailable for comment. People who used to shout family forever are suddenly no comment and let me stay out of this. Which is cute, but also suspicious. Because when people stop talking, it usually means they've got something to hide or protect. And Jim's son, he's doubling down, not backing off. It's not deleting posts, not apologizing for speaking out. If anything, he's leaning in harder. He's allegedly got more evidence, more names, more receipts, and he's threatening to go live again soon. This time with proof that connects Cam not just to Chrissy but to other women, other tapes, and maybe even other betrayals. So now that the secrets are out, the masks are off, and the so-called brotherhood has crumbled right before our eyes, what do you think? Are we witnessing the final days of Harlem royalty? Or is this just another messy chapter in a never-ending hip-hop soap opera? Is Jim Jones's son a hero for exposing the truth? Or just another pawn in a much bigger game none of us are seeing clearly? And what about Camron's? He really the villain? Or is he just the easiest target in a scandal that was destined to explode no matter what? Look, we've heard the rumors, we've seen the tape, we've read the cryptic captions, and watched the awkward silence on social media. But the question still stands. Who's lying, who's hiding, and who's next to be exposed? Because if this scandal taught us anything, it's that no secret is safe forever, and no legacy is untouchable. So go ahead, drop your thoughts in the comments. You think Jim and Cam will ever patch things up? Should Chrissy come clean or keep playing silent? And what would you do if your family drama was turned into a public circus overnight? We want to know every hot take, every theory, every wild prediction. Don't hold back. And if you want the truth raw, unfiltered, and just a little petty, you already know what to do.